Okay, we're here at the Smart Lighting and Smart Sensing Conference in Milan. I am with Steve Corkin. Steve is an independent consultant based in Cambridge and London in the UK, and he's also a director with the Finnish sensor company, Senso IT. Steve, we hear so much about smart lighting and smart sensing and how it's going to change our lives and make work more efficient and all that sort of thing. What would you say is, if you had to single out one killer app for smart sensing and smart lighting in a smart building, what would that be?
Look, from our point of view, we concentrate a lot on the workplace, so workspace, should I say, because workspace could involve meeting rooms, it could involve desks, work areas, collaborative areas, what is key is that the very people that are trying to get the most out of that space, to sweat the asset, so to speak, don't really have enough real-time information to understand that whatever is happening out there is happening optimally.
Yeah.
And that systems within the building are working for that particular situation. So, for example, if I had an app that could tell me right now what the occupancy was within a floor plate, or within a particular zone within that floor plate, or even across my entire real estate, but also see what sort of energy levels that I could look at comparative to possibly some historic data.
Right.
And that information can be collected by a combination of independent sensor devices, and also, you know, luminaires in lighting.
Okay.
So what I need is a sort of a convergence of data, of analytics and analysis that can be presented to me to know what is happening, and if I need to change that situation, I can shut down the 7th floor power or lighting.
So coming from the sensor side of things, you don't necessarily have to work through a lighting company to do that, although there are certainly instances when it would make a whole lot of sense.
Absolutely.
It seems to me,
No, there's value coming from both aspects.
And if I'm a lighting company, how do I go in and approach a potential customer? I'm used to selling lights. I'm going to come in now and say I'm a lighting company selling you this, what's basically a sensing IT package.
Well, what you're asking is, solution selling is another kettle of fish.
Right.
It's a whole new ball game.
Right.
It's a whole new way of approach to the client. You're not selling a box, you're not selling a globe.
Right.
And you might consider doing that through a provider of services and solutions that already has that trusted, established relationship with that client.
Okay.
So an example, you're going to know what example I might give as to what's been announced lately in the market between Philips and Cisco.
Right.
So that's an example.
Okay.
And we would be doing the same.
Right.
So far as working with other system integrators and solution providers that can help wedge our solution and hardware into their environment.
Right. It all sort of makes lighting sound like a more strategic proposition than it has ever been with this information technology connection. Does this potentially raise the point of entry for a typical lighting company from, say, the facilities level on up into the high level, C-level executive?
C-suite. Yeah, and I think it's all about information, knowledge, and education. Yeah. And right now, smart technology, smart buildings, smart cities are still in the educational field, area. The C-suite's main objective is to focus on their core business, on their bottom line. And the key is to have them be brought up to speed and aware of elements that are being brought into the aspects of the building that they pay for.
Right.
They're paying the energy bill.
Right.
They're paying the real estate bill.
Right.
And they're also paying for the people that are at the moment maybe taking up more space than actually what agile working can do to introduce a much more cost-efficient way. They can sublease floor space, they can sublease buildings. And this is what's been taking place.
Wow, so they could be doing this through their lighting systems with embedded sensors or with the sensors
absolutely
arriving
and you've got to raise that
means.
up at board level. This is where we really need to tie into.
fascinating. It's a new world.
It is. It is.
Thank you.
Pleasure, Mark. Thank you.